Welcome back to the Chris Salcedo Show. I'm Tom Basili. Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi again refusing to address Squad member Congresswoman Ilhan Omar's latest anti-Semitic comments. Joining me now to weigh in on the left's continued attack on faith is pastor of Influence Church in Granger, Indiana, and the author of The Christian Left: How Liberal Thought Has Hijacked the Church, Pastor Lucas Miles, and along with the director of the American Center for Education and Knowledge and Newsmax insider, Jay Shepard. Gentlemen, thank you for being with us. Jay, I want to go to you first. Why won't Nancy Pelosi just respond and condemn these attacks?
Well, I think it's a pattern of her of being anti-religion. She's looking for ways of criticizing any organized religion, and she actually probably likes the Squad and Omar doing these types of comments where she doesn't have to get her hands dirty and continue the attack on any organized religion. She's done it with the Catholic faith, where she's gone out and said that she will decide what Catholic dogma is on her own terms and not what the bishops say. And now she allows Omar to go out and be these anti-Semitic remarks over and over and over again. It's nothing new. It's a total war on Judeo-Christian values in this country, and the Democrats are in deep with it, and they encourage it, and they let these people get away with it.
Pastor, there's a new report out that was in the Washington Times that shows that Joe Biden's 2020 margins came from atheists. This is to Jay's point just now. Atheists and agnostics, while Trump's evangelical backing rose and he also won Catholics. Is the rise of atheism and agnosticism in the Democratic Party more evidence of the party now really being influenced and controlled by the far left?
I think absolutely. I mean, look, the rise of the left and the connection that the left has with things like critical theory, atheism, agnosticism, this isn't a surprise or news necessarily to anybody. But really what we're seeing now, and we saw in this Pelosi story as well, is this solidarity that the left has, and that comes from critical theory. It comes from Hegel and Marx, this desire to kind of all work together despite these disagreements for the purpose of really deconstructing society as we know it. And that really is going to involve really reframing religion, and Christianity right now stands in the way of that.
All right, and Jay, I'll ask you the same question here. The party of Kennedy is sort of now home to atheists and agnostics. Do you think that trend is going to continue?
Oh, absolutely. I think what you're looking at here is what the pastor is saying regarding critical theory. It's more than just critical race theory. It's about socialism and bringing people to be more dependent upon the Democrats in their form of government than it is on faith, values, and a true God. So what they've decided is that they are going to redefine what America is, and they can't do it when people have faith. And the whole concept of their socialism takes away the spiritualism that are who we are. We're a spiritual people. And they take that away from them. It allows them to move into the socialist, communist dictates where the socialist elites get to run this country, get to run the people, and they don't have that outside threat of what religion can bring to people and the faith that makes all of us special.
Pastor, real quick, a transgender priest from the Church of England is saying that God is beautifully non-binary. Look, you may not be able to place a gender on the Almighty, but God created us as man and woman. It seems like this is another radical attempt to legitimize gender fluidity. What is your reaction to this, and do you think we're going to start seeing more of it?
I mean, this honestly, it's not the first time I've seen this. There's actually a Bible translation called the Queen James Bible that really plays upon all of this language. It's obviously a heretical work. I think that, look, in Scripture, Jesus is clearly a male. That's without question. Does God have attributes that he demonstrates, in his creation that are seen in male and female? Sure. I don't think anybody's going to argue that. But Scripture clearly relates to God using a male pronouns. And we see Jesus is clearly a man who lived upon this earth, who was God in the flesh. And anything less than that is not a Christian message.
All right, we're going to have to leave it there. Thank you both, Pastor Lucas Miles and Jay Shepard. Appreciate it. Have a wonderful Independence Day to the two of you and your families. We will be right back here on the Chris Salcedo Show on Newsmax Television. Don't go away.